In our previous video, we have written two tests for add and subtract functions. But there are some problems with this way of writing test. The first problem, we can see it right here, is whenever the test fails the first one, it doesn't go to the next one. Say for example, I just change this value from 6 to 5, refresh it, the message will change to 6 is not equal to 5. So what happened to the second test? The second test result is not visible here, even if second test is failing. So we need to fix that problem first. And the second problem is we are not able to understand which test is throwing this error. Is it coming from add or subtract? To fix this error, the first thing we are going to do is to convert these two tests into a function. So I'm going to write a function named test add that is not going to accept anything, and we are just going to move all these steps into add test. Similarly, we are going to write another function subtest that is also not going to accept any parameter and move this into that function. So now we have two functions. What I want is to call these two functions with specific message that will convey more information about where this test is failing. So for that, we are going to write a small abstraction by creating a function. We'll name it test. Test will require two parameters, message and a callback function. The first problem we were facing was all the tests were not running. As soon as first test is failed, it doesn't move on to the next one. So to fix this, we'll use try catch and we'll try to call the callback function, and if that is successful, go ahead and log a message, and just for visibility I'm just going to add a tick mark. Along with that, we also want to show the message, and if the test is failing because it is throwing a new error, I will log this message and will say console.error, and here we'll log the error message. Along with this, let's add a cross mark that will display this test failed. So for that, we'll use cross sign along with the message that we passed here. So this is the abstraction that we have written. Now let's see how we can write our tests now. So to write the test for this function, first thing we're going to say is to call the function test. It will accept two parameters. The message will be a friendly information about the test that we are writing. So this test is about adding 2 and 4, and here what we need to do is to call this callback function that is test add. So this is how we write our first test. Similarly, we'll go ahead and write the second test, and that is subtracting 20 and 4. And here as a callback we'll pass subtest. Now let's go ahead and refresh this page. As soon as we refresh the page, we can see both the test is failing, and we can see the test failed for adding 2 and 4 and test failed for subtracting 20 and 4. So in this way we can understand now, even if our first test is failing, it moves on to the next test, so we can get result for all of them. What if I want to change this value from 5 to 6 and now refresh it? Then you'll see the test for adding 2 and 4 passed, and the test for subtracting 20 and 4 failed. If we fix that too, we'll see both the test is passed. So now in this way we are able to run all the tests that we write. Along with that, we are able to give a friendly message about whether the test is passing or it is failing. So this abstraction that we wrote in terms of testing is also known as testing framework. So the job of testing framework is to display a friendly information about what test passed and which one failed. So in this way we were able to write an abstraction for testing framework that helped us in displaying a friendly message, and even if the first test is failing, it will run all the tests.